All right, so we're gonna call the IGA meeting to order. Leo, will call please. Here.
Here. Here. Here.
Yeah. Okay, the first order of business is to approve the minutes of March 30. That was our special meeting. Did everybody attend that? And then so have a motion to approve.
Second.
Ed and Paul, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. The next item is, approve the bills and communications. There's a scheduled payments in our packet. Okay.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Time a second. Carol, any discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. There was a staff report in the packet. Obviously, Ben is not here today, but if anyone has any questions, I'm sure Julio, John, Nathan, Ian, and Walter. Any questions on the staff report? I don't think that requires permission. Okay, so we'll move on to business. So we have 1 and 2 resolutions in front of us today. The first one has to do with the pilot for West Delaware Hydro. And Walter, you want to tell?
Sure. West Delaware Hydro is a New York City tunnel tailwater located in the Never City. And the owner of that company that owns the hydro, which is Oakwood Energy, which is a very large national, international renewable energy project owner. And the town of Never City has jointly requested that we extend the plan. There have been big battles between towns in Sullivan County and other Brookfield projects on that hydros. And this is a good way for fixed numbers that we can argue about. I want to say that this is a really bad idea in terms of the revenue stream for tax certiorari lawyers, but parties have asked us to extend the project.
How long are we doing it for?
10 years.
10 years.
The town wanted it.
The town wants it and taxpayer wants it, so there's really nobody.
So went from what to what?
Yeah, what was the
What
original?
was the original?
It went from,
Here.
it was a 20-year project, I believe, extended already for 10. Now we're extending it another 10.
So that doesn't make it 40 years. I
It
would
would
just
make
say
it 40, right, which is why we need to do it with care, because it's a deviation from our.
Have we ever done that long?
No, but Jen sent out the deviation notices to the taxing jurisdiction. County, which is all for this, this town, which is all for this, and the school, which did respond.
Walter, how many years have we been into the original pilot?
The original pilot was over long ago. The amount of real estate taxes that would have been payable this year for 174,000 change. And the pilot payment for the next 10 years will be 175,000. So it's aligned with the current amount of taxes, and taxes you never see usually go down, they don't go up. So
Just stabilize it.
it stabilizes it for both sides.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, so the next resolution, aims to the rural business, the agri, so the USDA. Okay, or is this Julio, are you going to cover this one?
Sure.
for equipment, right?
About 90,000 a month in total, I believe. There's that number.
Oh, that came through.
Yeah, did you refer?
And so what's nothing, not the road too high, as if we had done it before. Oh, yeah. Come on, not quite. It's as of February 28th. There's, yeah.
Okay, and then you. When do you think they're gonna get in there?
They're in,
Oh, they're in.
they're not
Oh,
doing anything
fantastic.
there.
But they've
They're
got-
in there, they moved the vans up to Youngsville, they're proceeding.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have two items for discussion. One is the write-off of the rural micro rural assistance program loan ending pro need.
Yeah, that's a loan that is $700. I'm not positive it's under 1,000, right?
We're down to 2,700, 20 to 28.
Do you just want to write it off from an accounting perspective?
We haven't collected any money in a long time. There's no prospect of collecting the money listed at all.
Got it.
We,
It's nice to have a small number for change.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about it or concerns? Okay,
and
so
then next year, the auditors won't have to say, why didn't you write this off?
does this need a motion or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take it.
Discussion.
Second,
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, carried. All right, the last item for discussion on the IDA meeting is the new project, the Lake Airport. And, are we discussing, Mike's gonna walk us through the project?
Mike can walk you through, we'll give you background, and Mike can walk you through the real project. For whatever reason that no one understands.
Yes.
Mike Hammer has decided he wants to buy the Holiday Mountain ski area. I like the ski line. God bless you. So there's three typical aspects of the application which we receive. One is for sales tax abatement on things that they will be purchasing, and Mike will walk you through what they're buying, replace the old trailers that will rubber with like this. The other is real estate tax abatement on a new investment. And interestingly enough, this purchase price is almost identically aligned with the current equalized assessed value, so there's no real, there's not much of a difference between the equalized assessed value. This purchase price. The third is a mortgage, reporting tax exemption on a $5 million mortgage, which either Mike or some entity focuses with the land.
was it open that, or was it open?
It was open.
It's actually open today, for Passover, one more. See the people riding the go-karts down there, it's quite an experience.
So it's already been, the sales are taken place.
No, we're,
It can't take place until we approve it here.
Right.
And for that reason, Jen will schedule a special meeting for the 24th.
Can you give us some insight on your upgrades?
sure. So, probably now people keep saying, why do you want to buy it? I grew up in Monticello, Sullivan had our life. My great grandparents owned the whole left side of the mountain. So they put the highway through 1958. They bought that land from my great grandmother for $5,000. So I had a letter. That's Maud. So that's Maud Crawford Realty. So putting it back in the family. When I was a kid, everybody skied, especially Ken Thompson, Liberty, Boulder, Bethel. Every child got to be on skis. We had after-school program, cheap, subsidized. I really want to bring it back. Skiing is dying. Unfortunately, we used to have Davos and Roseners and Pines. Concord, I skied the Concord. So it's just a dying sport. And unfortunately, Holiday Mountain has come on some tough times financially. It's shrinking. And if anybody's been there in the last 10 years, it's just not where it really needs to be. So, I want to get kids back on skis and promote it for the area. It's a great tourism draw. There's nothing between, here in Bel Air for the most part. You have the Bel Air, Hunter Wyndham, different classifications here for sure. I look at places like Mountain Creek in Jersey, Mount Peter and Warwick, they're doing a great job. This just needs new direction and application. So, different things we're doing upgrade already. I've already purchased the chairlift.
So you haven't paid.
I have not paid for it. We started moving it. I have,
An agreement to purchase.
I have an agreement to purchase. It's in Virginia. We're actually going to start picking up tomorrow morning. I have 6 of my tractor trailers headed to Virginia. to pick up the chairlift. Working on a magic carpet that I have not purchased yet, for more tubing areas. I unfortunately did buy a dump truck or this huge excavation dump truck. I can't stop that. But we're gonna reroll, building new trails, made an agreement already with neighboring properties, to cut more trails now.
Really?
Connect the
Right,
areas.
Campbell?
Right of the Campbell.
They talking about that. Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lodge as well.
Lodge, yeah, probably, but snowmaking was a big thing this year. Without snow, Holiday Mountain's got the amazing ability to make snow along the river. And every other place dies to get their hands on that. So, I've already signed a contract and wired money, not paid for it yet, for my.
It's just a deposit.
Just my deposit, snowmaking, I probably gotta put about $1.5 million in snowmaking this year alone, to increase pumping capacity. Meeting with Nice Lake hopefully soon about increasing the juice in the property. Because when your window of opportunity opens, you have to make a lot of snow. Lodge, definitely redo the lodge in the long run, things just aren't configured properly a little bit. It's great, it's got great bones. The fun park I think can work. I don't know anything about fun parks. But he's got some good staff and I think with the right marketing and sewer can take it.
What
Just
about you
let it
and
die.
Black Hill? Oh.
No, I'm not quitting. I gotta get the right management in place. But night skis down there with me.
Oh, they're-
So,
This is great for how it can roll that. And that was the only other buyer. There was nobody else looking at this and it was right down to the wire and Craig Pasante is a real stand-up person. He turned down a larger offer. For this, yeah, substantially larger. So
Where it wouldn't have been as.
it would not have been a ski.
Right.
hill.
Like, there was some
People need to
scuttlebutt
know
about,
that.
right,
Yes.
there was some scuttlebutt about the kind of snow blowers you're buying or makers you're buying are actually for warmer weather, which would help, yes.
To an extent, you get a couple of few degrees.
Right, I mean, it's
We're going
just-
back to compressed air as opposed to just fan guns. We're gonna have a mixture of fan guns and compressed air. Had some like an engineering company on the mountain already. So we have the place all, hopefully designed out and we're trying to just source pipe it.
It's awesome.
Everything's in the works. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. But the motocross has been, we terminated the contract with that.
They're unhappy.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and I think motocross is great. I hate to see that go for the children. I'm all for it, but it's not the right venue. The erosion and the destruction of the property has just been mind-blowing. Sure, there's been, it's just unfortunate. It's been a winter. It's made a big mess. There's been a death. I can't be tied to that.
Right.
The first thing coming in is I'm about safety. I don't want any consumers or employees to be hurt. So everything has to be changed up for the entire facility. But these small facilities, they work. And if you look at Mount Peter, if anybody's been to Warwick, I go there with my kids at ski racing. Beautiful operation, clean, family oriented, and I think this is gonna be a really good tourism.
Take that right over to the border of Pennsylvania too.
Sure.
That's what.
Any of these mountains all do well. Similar temperatures, not afraid because we have plenty of water. So,
So when is our next meeting?
What Mike is saying is, he really is planning all those things, but he can't do any of them until he is due by the IDA. Not wanting to.
Project doesn't go forward.
That's correct.
So we need,
Exactly.
next meeting needs to be before the 27th.
We've scheduled a public hearing for April 21st. Just not.
Which is a Friday. So on the next Monday or Tuesday, the 24th or 25th, Jen will schedule a special meeting for us to decide whether or not Mike's project is worthy of being introduced. Okay.
So the 21st is the public hearing, so it could be Monday.
It could be Monday, the 24th, or Tuesday. the 25th.
Really, any options?
Well, there's all position everything.
Right.
But I mean, like.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how you could have, this is one of the few things that actually.
I've been quite a lot of people
It's
still
already
hate
there.
it.
Normal opposition is nothing to do. position is he can afford to pay the tax.
We're all gonna work with it, that.
Well, one might argue that it might not be dissimilar to some of the other losing propositions around here that people invest in.
And how do you know he can afford to pay?
We want to keep him. When I met with Mike, I said, it's not a matter of getting you to buy it, it's a matter of getting you to buy it and then succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So one
And
thing,
stable.
right, if you look at any of the projects, anything spot, Savers is always the number one place that I think of that his own money, and he takes something that is a life and turns it into a beautiful, thriving business and something that you drive by and you're happy to see. So and never ask for any assistance. This is the first project, right?
Correct, and, had long discussions again. with the
Yeah, no,
project
no,
manager.
listen,
And I'm
big
doing
deal.
Skaters World right now, we're turning that into a self-storage center, it's all being built. And I also just recently opened up a place in, up in Worcester, Massachusetts. We're in West Nyack, Andover, New Jersey, I'm in Thompson, Goshen, we have facilities all
But
over.
those are your core businesses, and this is a tourism destination.
Right.
Honoring the idea
You're
about
taking,
how-
so in essence, what you're doing is you're taking a flyer on this community for this type of thing, it still has weather concerns. It still has weather, you've made a judgment call that all of these other places are making it, but you don't have a track record, this is your number two. So you're taking a flyer on this as your number one, to see if you can make this a tourism area as opposed to, residential dominant. And so for that reason alone, I think we would want to support that, not adding to your.
So I'm just saying, things I've purchased and.
Just getting us that way.
So we don't need a resolution, but we need a.
We don't need anything until after the public hearing. He just came because you have any questions?
What is it showing?
Right, so yeah.
Bar, basic mountain.
Oh, someone said you put it back.
I wanted.
Sure, every one of them knows their ideas, including my mother.
New Year's Eve trail, Christmas bowl, turkey trot, Easter parade.
Yeah,
How am I doing?
you're doing pretty
Got
good.
the New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve trail,
Yeah.
Christmas bowl, turkey trot,
Yeah.
Easter parade.
Funny, because we never called them those things. Was just the bowl?
Correct.
It was
The New Year's,
punch
was the New
bowl.
Year's?
Christmas.
The right of that pommel, I love that, that was the New Year's Eve.
New Year's
Yeah.
trail.
So, and part of it's still there. They cut the bottom off of the connectors. We're gonna connect the two sides of the mountain. Believe it or not, this is, if everybody ever see how they escape across the entire bottom.
Yeah,
And to get to the Roman had that palm back then. We're gonna cut a trail both ways, so you can actually ski grabbing both sides.
It's amazing when you're a skier, you put skier
Yeah.
as opposed to not.
Being out there, you
But
have
it's town, right?
I should have 13, I wanna say.
You're gonna open the old ones?
Yes,
Oh, you are?
except, Tombstone's. Remember Tombstone's?
Yes.
13 and that's it. Anything else later on, Dave?
What's that?
13 trails to start.
So far, but I have a deal worked out with county and the quarry next door. I can use all their property from there to get good in Mississippi. They're great. They're totally supportive of it. They don't want to see a housing development in the quarry.
Yeah.
So they're very nice of them. Very steep terrain there, so it's gonna be tricky. But I can definitely do one. I was on the town of Thompson Parks Commission actually. Back in I guess the 90s, we sold it out. And at that point, it was losing 250,000 a year, but it was, tier one employees, and it was just, we ran like a municipality. So in reality, people say that it wasn't run properly, but I'll tell you, Craig has preserved the place, and the bones are still good, and you kept it open after all those other mountains closed, so.
And it was run well. When I was a senior in high school, I used to go in at 8 o'clock at night and work until 8 o'clock the next morning making stuff. The only problem was when, we were moving the guns there. And so there were some issues. We go inside like 1 o'clock, go to sleep, forget to wake up till like 3. Man, no, it brings you back.
So-
But as a high school kid.
Because that was Big Gordon.
That was changed.
What?
Big Gordon was running.
I was on the commission at the tail end with me, so now I know who's gonna be making snow.
Right around the corner, you can call them. Right there.
I'll try.
You're experienced now. You've been wondering what I'm doing next.
And I don't sleep in the middle of the night and I don't need to be answering emails, and now I can move snow.
There you go.
No, but it's been a good project.
Yeah, well, good luck.
And I'm a skier, I ski every weekend, and my kids all ski. So for the community, I want to get all those kids back on skis in school. So hopefully they're only buses running evenings, show kids and do business.
Well, good luck with it.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I appreciate the support. I think it's a good project.
Charles only got 35 minutes, so.
Okay, let's, you're welcome to stay, but I'm sure you'd rather not. But I'll touch base with you.
I am, you.
Thank you very much.
Does the board?
On April 24th, I'm good on Monday, if you guys are.
We're gonna have this one at midnight?
When, well, the public hearing then is the Friday, so obviously the earlier the better for him to get going. But
Yeah, well, it would have to be Monday, Tuesday.
I'm better on Tuesday.
But I can't.
what time on Monday could you?
I can actually, I think it's Monday morning, but not next week.
What time's your banking? Over it? Right. What if we did like, I have some,
I'm not concerned about Holly Mountain. I want you to also know that you will be considering a resolution that day. It'll be fixed. The Center for Discovery Bonds. And very complicated.
you might need the time.
So I'm getting back from, I'm gonna get resolutions again this week. Because I'm away next week.
Your vacation?
Yes, sir.
So what do you want? What day? 24th or the 25th?
I can make either day. My concern is if there are changes with respect to the Center for Discovery Bond at the last minute,
We'd rather have it Tuesday.
rather have it Tuesday.
So who can do Tuesday?
I'm wide open to this.
Who can do Tuesday at like 10 o'clock on Tuesday? Yep, because you're done with your banking. Is that all right? Or you can't do that. Have we have a quorum? Let's see, you can't, who else other than Scott?
I
can't
can
make?
be,
Okay, so let's say
it's gotta be,
Tuesday,
you know, before 11:30.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Tuesday, and it's just an IDA meeting, right?
It'll be an IDA meeting in the Sullivan County budget.
So Julio, will you send a new invite out to everybody? That would be great.
Why don't we just send days we're not gonna be meeting, it'd be much easier.
Well, do I still need to recuse myself from the Center for Discovery?
I don't think
Not for
there's a
that.
reason on changing the,
I don't think so.
no, I don't think so.
I don't either.
And the reason we need to do this, if anybody is curious, is because LIBOR is going away. And their bond documents provide that the LIBOR index goes away. The bonds are then tied to prime, which would make them extremely expensive. So there's been a new index sort of conceived by the banking world. So
Okay, so are we done with the IDA? Is there any member of the public? I do not see one. So can I have a motion to adjourn the IDA? Scott, Carol, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, so basically we're done with this meeting.